I have no reason why. Okay, you can change the color to whatever color you like. If you swipe down, you see color, you see gradients. If you have a custom color code, you can also put it by clicking here. Why isn't this thing working now? By clicking here, you're able to add your own custom color code. Maybe something like this. Whatever colors you use in the design, they'll be up here. So if you swipe like this, you see other pages. You'll be able to create a new page. Time, this one you don't need it. I think it's for video. Layers show which one is on top, which one is on the bottom. Here there's only one layer, which is the background. When we add text and other elements, you'll be able to see how it's done, how it is used. More, you have several options: copy, paste, or delete. I've copied this page. I'll come here and I will paste. So also, if you click on anything, you see these three dots, it will also take you to this copy, paste, or delete part. So we're done with this. Now when you click on plus, you see different things. First, the design place, you can add a template. If you don't want to add from the home page and you just want to get the design size first, you can come here and search whatever template. Let's say Instagram carousel. You're able to see the templates. If you click on it for carousel, you see all the several pages. So let's if you want to apply all, you can say apply all 10 pages. And what it will do, even if you have made any design, that's why you need to be careful. If you have made any design, it will replace everything. So let's click out here. There's really no space. Now this button down here, it will show you all the pages in your design. You can see it has replaced the colored one that we have before. X will exit. If you want to move to a page, you can click here, you can select it, then exit this place, or you can simply just scroll. Now styles, going back, styles will change the color styles of your design. Let me put something like, you can see they even have creative, minimalist, modern. Let's say modern. So styles, you can change all the color palettes, or you can change the fonts. Now let's see what happens. Look at the current design. Let's see what happens when we change the color palette to this. You see it has somehow changed. You can click on apply to all pages to apply to all. Let's see if we click on this. Okay, it hasn't done anything. Let's click on this. You can see the text has changed. We can click on apply to all pages to apply to all the pages. So that's it for design. This looks bad. Let me change it back. It's good to have your background as white. So the next thing is elements. Or let me go to, should I go to text first? Let me go to text. So text, you can add heading, subheading, blah blah blah. You can just click on anyone. Let me add a text box. This one is paragraph text, where you can type anything. But no matter what you add, you can still change the size. And even if I add heading, I can resize it and reduce the weight to make it as small as this paragraph. As small as this paragraph text. This is it. So for text, you have different options. You have edit. Edit means you can edit. You can edit what is inside the text. Fonts. Font is a type of text. For Mamzi, for heading text, I use this fonts Algreya. You can use any font you like, but for consistency, Abi, is it Aleg? Oh. Okay, Allegria actually. So you can apply that. For body fonts, that is for text. Let's say I have an intention of making a heading and making a body text, paragraph text. For fonts, I use Poppins. Now this is too bold. Let me edit and add oh, I wanted to add some body text, but it's okay. Thought I had it copied. This thing, this dot, you can resize it up and down. Here on phone I can't really click it. Use for resizing up and down. I want it to be small. This rectangle is used for resizing the width of the text. If you bring it too close, you can see it breaks the text. We want it to be something like this. I'm coming. Let me copy something. Oh, no need. So that is it about font. Now text style, you don't really need. Oh, what is it? Text style, it recognizes the heading and subheading that you have used across your design, across your whole design. So since I use Algeria, it has detected it. So I can go back. You don't really need it. So font size is simply the size of the font. It should be large enough so that there will be contrast between titles and the paragraph fonts, but not too large such that it messes up the whole design. Something like this is okay. We have no image. We can duplicate it, change this to change this to Poppins for body. Exit this. Let me check my recent searches. I can see Algeria. So, but if you want other fonts, you can come here. You see handwriting. You see several handwriting fonts. The preview here shows how the font is. You can see several fonts, but Allegria is enough for now. Now, since this is supposed to be title and this text, normally I'm supposed to click on these circle things and resize it. Remember what we said about sizing in hierarchy, right? So this is bigger, this is smaller. So what's next? Color is simple, just color is color. We can make it blue. Remember, your color shouldn't be so light that it makes it hard to read. It should be clear to read. Something like this, or even this ash. It should be clear enough to read. Don't use light color on light background, right? Use light color. If I make this dark, I don't know Mamzi color off head. If I make this dark, this is dark background. Don't use dark color on dark background. Use light color. So we'll make this white. Use light color on light background, dark color on dark background. It's a simple rule. And don't use color when you don't have to. I mean non-black colors. This text, I don't think there's any need for it to be blue, so let's just keep it black. It's okay like this for simplicity. Then color, we're done with color. Then format here gives it different things. You can bold it, you can italicize it. You don't really need to, I've never italicized anything. You don't really need to italicize it. It depends, but you don't really need to. You can underline, you can strike through, you can make everything all caps. Then for alignment, you can make this center aligned, you can make it right aligned, you can make it justified. You can add bullet points in dots, or you can add bullets in 1, 2, 3. So when you click on space, it gives the first one number 1, it gives the first one number 2. We can increase the size of this too by coming to font size. This is too big. I think something like this is okay. There's enough contrast. Can increase contrast, hierarchy stuff too, making this bold. So that's just text. Then another property of text is spacing. There are two types of spacing between letters. Many times letter spacing is okay, just the default. Don't let it be too big. This is too big, this is too small. It should be readable, right? While line spacing, sometimes you might need to adjust that. When text is big, the bigger the text, I think the smaller the line spacing needs to be. I think just let it be readable. Many times the default is okay. This one, anchor box, don't really need it. Many times the default is just okay. So I don't want color. Then effects. Many times too you won't need effects. You can see shadow. So it's a little bit advanced. Offset is how far the shadow actually is. Direction, I don't think you can see. Blur is how thick the shadow is. Transparency, how transparent. Since this phone is small, you can't really see the effects. The screen is small. Transparency is how you can see the text is becoming darker and darker. It's because of the shadow. There are ways to use shadow to make it nice, but many times you just need none. Then lift is also like shadow. You can make it hollow, can splice it, outline, echo, glitch, maybe for special effects. Neon doesn't work. First, let me go to background too. You can edit the background. All these things, many times you don't really need it. You can edit the roundness of the sides, you can edit the spread, like how far is it from the text, the transparency of the background, and the color. see what we have. So what did I say I was going to? Yes, glow. Glow, many times you need a colored background for it to make sense, or rather a text that is not black. Let me just put it that way. A text that is not black. I don't think black ever glows. Have you seen black light before? So we can make it pink, something light. Light colors glow best. So if we come to effects, mind you, if we click on one effect, another one goes, right? Either this or this. So neon, it makes it look like it is shining light. And remember contrast, no light color on light background. So let's see what happens when we make this background dark, whether it will make sense or not. You can see it kind of makes sense. It looks like light on darkness. Let me make it ash. It looks like light on darkness. You don't really need this thing, but I just want to show you. Oh, time is going. Now if you look at this, okay, if you want to remove it, you can come here, you can oh my god, you can just go to none, see shape too, whether I want it to be curved or anything. Now animate, you don't really need it. Transparency is just transparency. Look at it. The more transparent the lighter it is. Position, layers, both of them can be found on tab in the same place. Now layers is where, let's say I put this text. Okay, you won't really see with text. Maybe this star. If I increase the size, you can see that it's at the back. I can come to position or layers, they perform the same function, and drag this one to the top or drag it to the bottom. You can, if you come here to overlapping, you can see overlapping layers and drag them. Well, here I've dragged it to the top. You can also select multiple layers, like I've selected one. I can press this select, and this is one selected, two selected, three selected, done. Then I can drag them together, or since they are selected, I can come to position. To back means backward, to back of everything. To front means forward, front of everything. Back mode means just one step. Forward means just one step forward. Alignments too. You can align all the elements you have selected to the left, to the center of each other, to the bottom of each other, to the right of each other, to the top of each other, to the left of each other. Spacing, don't really need this, but if you want to space everything, advanced, you don't need this. So we're talking about position, align, middle. It aligns. If you only select one element, it aligns it to the page, top, left, center of the page, right of the page, bottom of the page, middle of the page, right? So that is what it is about. I think that is it for text. Nudge is for all. To nudge is just if you want to move it up by 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, down, and the rest. All pages means it copies it and adds it to all pages. Now if I go to this other page, you see that text is not there, but if I come here and click on all pages, you see added to 9 pages. Now I can come here and that text has been added to all the pages in this design. So that is all about text. This more and here, if I click on it, they take me to the same place. I can copy and I can paste. I just pasted it. I can select multiple. Where I select it, select this, and I can copy those two and I can paste them. You can paste it in another page. Comment, you don't need it. You can send to back, send backward. You can group them together. You can lock their position so that your hand won't touch it. Your hand won't mistakenly move anything. I just unlocked their position. So I can ungroup. You come out, then you can now select the text. Excuse me. I can delete. Then if you use your hand and you long press, then that's not what I wanted to do. There's a way if you long press and drag, there's a way you do it that you'll be able to select multiple elements, but I think maybe it's only on tab or something. Okay, that is it about text. Now we're done with that. I also explained that you see these dots, you can use them to resize. Then images, images. Now if you go to these uploads, you're able to upload any image or video or anything. You can see all the Mamzi images are here. You're able to upload any image. Oh, what happened? You're able to upload any image and bring it here. So you can click on upload files. It will take you to your folder, to your upload folder. So now images. To source for images, you can source them from Canva or you can source them from external platforms. To source them from Canva, you can go to Elements. You can type your text. I've done this before. Then you can click on it to click on photos to filter everything to photos. then click on it, or you can come here, you can go to photos, you can search. If you are looking for background image, you can come here, you can search anything you like. Let me see. Anything you like. If you long press, I think you should have an option to star or add to a folder in case you like it, so that you'll be using it. These are the start distance. This is the background I use for Mamsie Green posts. So let's say you want to add a background, you can come here, click on the image, and it automatically adds that as the background. If you want to change the background with any image there, you can click on the image, select this 3 dots, then can press replace background. Other places you can search for image, you can go to apps here. Apps, you can go to, there are a lot of stuff here. This Pixabay or Pixels, why is it not loading? This Pixabay or Pixels, if you click on them, it will take you to a page like this where you can search for images. Or we are go down now. Other sites you can search for images is www.picpx.com, then wallpaperhdcave.com. Now to the properties of images. I've shown you one. You can add any image as a background. The other things rather, not second thing, you can do to image, you can replace it with any of your uploads. You can, or first let me talk about these dots on it. This like text is used to resize while keeping all the sides intact. This one that are like rectangle, they are used to crop. Don't use this except you want to crop an image. Use this for resizing. Now, as I said, you can replace it. Effects. You see different things. Magic eraser, you don't really need it. Background remover removes the background. You can see it as remove the background. When selecting an image, you should think of the I'll still come back to that. Effects, you have other effects. You can add shadow, autofocus. If there is a background, it blurs the background and brings the object into focus. You can blur the image. That might come in handy. Duo tone changes the color of the image. You can look at this. Many times you won't need this. You won't need it. So that is it about effects. Sometimes if your network is not strong, the effect won't apply. Let's go back. Now filters too are like effects, but you don't really need them. I don't even know what they do. They just add one kind of styling or adjust. This is the cocoa. Now let me expand this image. Whenever you are using an image, you should think of this kind of advanced, but it's still good to understand. You should think of the feel you are trying to promote. Is it happy? Is it normal? Is it sad? If it is happy, when you think of happiness, you think of maybe a sunny day or something. That means there should be heat. Now if you go to this temperature, you can change it to yellow or change it to blue. You can see it's changing. This is cool, for a cool feeling. This is a hot feeling. Many times you don't really need to go this far, just maybe between 18 and minus 18 on both sides. Tint too is color. You are just adding color. You can see it's kind of pink. Brightness is how bright it is. Most times all these ones you won't really need it. The main things are temperature, tint, but let me show you highlights. You can expand, see what they do. Look at what happens. So most times what you need is temperature, tint. For me, what you need is temperature, tint. Then let me undo. Then sharpness, saturation and sharpness. Saturation, that one, look at it, makes it more harsh, right? Makes it more harsh. Sharpness, you need this. Put it at high for whether a product image, or sometimes for some certain images, if you put it too high, it becomes grainy. But look at the difference. Look at how it is at 0. It looks kind of blurry, but if you put it at 62, sharpness kind of increases the resolution of the image. It makes it sharp. Then clarity is the last one you need. You can put it at half of the value of sharpness, right? Clarity also increases the quality of the image. What I normally do for Mamzi, sharpness maybe to about between 40 and 60, then clarity about 20 to around that 20 side. Error. You know what I should have done? Or I want to show you the difference between what was default and why now. Why is Canva doing like this? This is it. What was default and what was, let me go to effects and remove the background. Now you can see there's a clear difference. between the default image, this one we added some pink to it, between the default image and the edited one. So that is it about adjust. Crop is to crop. Can do smart crop. I don't know what it does. Can select an aspect ratio so that it crops to a square or rectangle or whatever. Most time you just need freeform. With freeform you can choose your custom size by dragging these things by the side, then you can now select done. You can flip it left or right. You can reduce the transparency. We have touched on transparency before. Layers and position, we have touched on that. Nudge all pages, we have touched on that. Info, in case you like the image and you want to see images like that, you can click on info, then see the title you used. This is especially useful when you selected an image from elements, maybe something like this. I want to see, I like how this image is. Who created it? Who made it? Who snapped the image? Not created anyway. You can now see more like this. If you like it, you can style it, or you can add it to Mamzi folder. You can see the keywords. Keywords are important in Canva because they are what helps you search for the right image. Sometimes African black man or African chef will give you something different from black cook. So keywords are different. You can see the keywords here. You can start. You can see more like this, where you see different types of images like that. Very nice. So more, if you click on more here or you click on these dots, you go to the same place. You can copy, you can paste, you can select multiple. Let's say I want to move this image and this text on top of it. That is where select multiple helps. I can move it here. Sometimes you might want to group it and move it. You can ungroup if you want to edit separately, then you see all different types of this thing. Then download selection. It only appears when you have selected two elements, not text, maybe an image and text, or SVG and just two elements. Then you can download them together. So that is it for images. Now when looking at images, you need to think of the context. Where is it going to be used? Let me open some of our projects. Where is it going to be used? Some images are cropped from the beginning. Trying to look for is it in single products, flyers, untitled design? I don't even know. let me go to Mamzi folder. You see where folders are important, they help you organize. You can see what I'm looking for, Mamzi one image post. Now if you look at this, you see the several images, they are placed properly. If you look at this third one, you can't come and place this image on the right, it's just not possible because there is no space. This works on the right, you can center this text and make this center too, it depends. This works on center, this Gary can put it anywhere. This works on right, this works on center, especially for single image. So you have to think of the context when looking at the image. And yes, sometimes for some images like this, for some images like this, when you remove the background, there is a problem sometimes. Now let me show you what I mean. If you check the edges of this guy, you see this color purple. You see the color purple. So some images are like that when you remove the background. So I think we're done for images. Yes, we're done with images. The next one is elements. There are several types of elements, millions of elements. Anything you need, just think of the right keywords. Think of the right keywords, then use it, then put it. Let's say you are looking for icon. An icon, maybe threads icon. You can simply go to, excuse me, threads icon is not on Canva yet, it seems so. Oh nice, it is there. So you can come here. Oh, I forgot elements have their own. Anyway, the same thing, you can expand, you can reduce. There are several types of elements. Color, you see effect, you see crop. All these things, they are like images. So you can resize them as you are going on Canva. You can see these dotted lines. They help you align things to each other. We talked about alignment. Let's say we want to thread let's say we want to add this icon. We want to align this icon to the bottom of this text. Another thing about alignment is, when you have a text and icon, you need to make sure that they are kind of the same height. If I pause this video now, it will break. They are kind of the same height. So that is one thing about icons. So for anything, you do always think alignment. So anything you see, you just search. it's probably going to be there. There are some elements that can't change their color though. Maybe something like this. You cannot change its color. Some you can, some you can't. So I think that is the end. This something like this is a shape. Okay, maybe I'll touch shapes separately. Shapes too are also types of elements. You can come here and okay. Why is this thing taking time like this? You see, photos, videos, shapes should be somewhere here. Oh, frames. I think I'll stop at frames. But let me search shape. Let's say you want to put something on why is this thing slow? Kai Subhan. How did I press rectangle? So here you can add text inside if you want. For some reason the rectangle was added to the back. So how do we fix that? We can simply go to layers. We can select our rectangle and we can drag it to the top, or go to position and bring it to the front. So now, what are the properties of shapes? Shapes are kind of special because here you see shape, you can change the shape to any other shape. Style, you have the border style, that is the sides. What will be the color of the sides? And the my ear. You can round the corners, you can increase the border.